soon upon us, which means Bruce is back to doing his holiday crafting. This year, he's going to learn how to do vacuum form modelling. Let's watch him build a vacuum form machine from cheap junk from around the house. God, he's a cheapskate. Let's see if he can do it, shall we?
Hey folks, welcome back to my shop once again. My name is Bruce, and if you've never been to my channel before, I like to make stuff, fix stuff, and build stuff. And I don't talk very well. Sometimes I do stutter, especially when I haven't been drinking, which is one of those days today because it's morning. Anyway, today's Saturday, October 4th, and if you read the title, we're going to try making a vacuum molding chamber, or I don't even know what it's called. This is how stupid I am. Let me give you a quick background on me. I've been working with resin and sculpting for the past 10, 15 years. I don't know everything. I'm learning new stuff every day. Basically, the silicone molds and resin casting is what I have been doing all these years for, I have an eBay store, and that's where I make stuff at. And today, anyway, I woke up, and I've been working on this project over here for years. It's been one of my best sellers. It's a PAL Toy Death Star. It's like one of the holy grails of Star Wars toy collecting. I make a reproduction of it that is not going to be mistaken for the original because I customize a lot of it, different materials and everything. So before anybody gets in my case about repro, I don't want to hear it. A lot of people just want something to display their figures on, which is what I use this for. Anyway, to complete it, I have to make the gun part on the top, and I've never successfully done it to my satisfaction. This is the best I've come up with. This is what it looks like. It sits on top, and it spins around. The problem is the gunner chair isn't too bad, and I've been trying to duplicate it with resin. I can't. It's not that it can't be done. I'm sure it can be done, but I can't. So, but I think today I woke up and I decided, you know what? It's time to learn something new. I'm going to learn how to do this, and I'm going to figure it out cheap, which is why you're here, because we're going to save some money today, I hope. I don't know if this video is going to work. I don't know if my idea is going to work. We're going to try. But the main thing I need to make is this piece right here. This is the canopy that goes on top of it. As you saw when I was holding it up before, it fits like that. This one I made out of resin with my master that is from a 3D printer. This one, you see there's a ton of bubbles in it. It's this particular one's yellow because I made it a long time ago and I never treated it. It's got holes in it. For me, it's impossible to do with clear resin. I've tried putting it in a pressure pot. I've tried a vacuum chamber. Nothing worked. And I've burned through hundreds of dollars worth of materials trying to get this right. Haven't been able to do it. It sucks. That's why I thought, well, you know, maybe I should learn how to do the vacuum forming. And I watched some videos online how to do it and how to build your own. And these people are building these insane machines. I mean, they're great machines. No, all credit to them. If you have the money to spend on that, go for it. I don't. So I'm thinking, all right, I did the pressure pot video a while back out of a 3-pound or a 3-gallon bucket. I'm still using it to this day. It still works. I did have to get another bucket, which it's hard to find a bucket for those. But that's not what we're here to talk about. I'm thinking, all right, I understand the principle of vacuum forming. I've never done it before. I watched these videos of these guys making their own machines. Fascinating. It's fascinating. So I did a little research, and the type of plastic I would have to use is called styrene. The melting temperature on that is 410 degrees at least. Now, because you have to melt it and then it vacuum forms around what you're trying to make, and it's supposed to make a nice copy of it. That's what I think would solve my problem with this, and that's what we're going to try to do. I'm just starting this project today, so we have to sit here and think of what we need. I'm going to build this somehow. I'm gonna think us out, and well, let me go do some thinking, and we'll get started. See what materials we need. Okay, so I put my thinking cap on and logically determine what I'm going to need for this project. I wanted to show you, this is my actual master. This is what I want to duplicate. You see, it's got a little bit of stuff on there, but this is plastic, and we're going to be working with styrene plastic, and like I said, the melting point is 410 degrees. I feel like since this is plastic, when I lay that on there, it's probably going to melt, and I don't want that because this is the only one I have. So I'm thinking I'm going to cover this in high heat engine enamel. Maybe that'll shield it a little bit. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. Either way, you're going to find out. So what do I have to do to vacuum form this? Well, I need, first and foremost, I would need to build a base. So the base, I'm going to make the base out of wood, and we'll pick some of that up. I'm also going to need pegboard to put on top of that so the air can get sucked down through. So that's the one part. And there's 4 parts the best I can figure, there's 4 parts that I need. I need the box, the main base, which I'm going to make that out of wood. I'm going to need some kind of a vacuum. So I think my shop vac should work just fine. I have a standard shop vac here. We're making little things. I don't plan on making this really big. So I think a shop vac plugged into my base should work. Like I said, we're going to find out. I also need something to heat up the styrene. So how would I do that? Am I going to build something? No. I haven't quite worked that out yet, but I'm going to go do some shopping and see if I can build something, or if, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about that one. I'm also going to need something to hold the plastic, and that's going to have to be made out of metal. Now, I don't work with metal very often, so that's going to be interesting. But I need some kind of a frame to hold a piece of plastic. Let's say the piece of plastic looks like this piece of paper. I would need to build a bracket around it so it can lower down onto the base on top of my master like this, and then that's whenever the vacuum will suck the air out of it. So I don't know, I'll have to figure that one out. I saw someone on the internet was using a space heater. They had a space heater, and they had a bracket, and actually it was mechanical. It was a lot bigger than what I'm trying to do, but I don't know. Got to get 410 degrees out of it. I'll keep my thinking cap on about that. So I said about the shop vac, I got to get something to build a metal frame. So I need the metal frame, I need the base, and I need a shop vac, which I already have, and I need some kind of a heat source. So let's go do some shopping and see what I come up with. Heading to Walmart, and I don't know, probably the local hardware store here. It's called our local hardware store. I don't know if it's this way the rest of the United States, but our local hardware store is called Busy Beaver. I'm just going to leave that right there. So I'm going to the Beaver. Let's go shopping. Okay, so I'm back from my shopping trip. Went to Walmart and that Busy Beaver I was telling you about. Piecing together what I'm going to do. First, I got a big board that we're going to cut down to make the box. Set that aside. And then I wanted to think about the bracket that's actually going to hold the plastic when we heat it up. I was wondering about how am I going to heat it up. And then I'm walking through the aisles and it hit me. I use a toaster oven. Toaster oven goes up to about $4.50. So I got the cheapest toaster oven I could get at Walmart. I hope it works. I figured that'll put it on toast function. It'll heat from the top, heat from the bottom. And then I can put the bracket inside there and put it on top of the box to mold. We're going to try it. So I'm like, all right, I can't just set it on the grate that's inside the toaster oven, this thing. I can't just put it on this, because the plastic will get messed up. I can't put it on this either, same thing. So I'm like, all right, well, I can make this be my bracket. And this will dictate the size of my project, how big my box can actually be. So I was looking at it, and you see there's a square here. I'm thinking if I cut that out, I can rest a bracket in there, and it'll get heat from the top and the bottom, and it'll be stable in the middle of the toaster oven. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut this out, and that's going to dictate the size of our brackets. I also found these pieces of trim, which we're going to make our brackets out of. It's an L-shaped, some kind of trim. Found at the hardware store. They were $3 each. And I figured this is what I can make the bracket out of. I'll make 2 squares to fit in here because it'll set right in it. Let's just get started and I'll show you. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this all off. I'm going to do that on my little homemade jigsaw on this table that I made. It's 3 tools in one. Right now we're using jigsaw parts. The jigsaw, there's a table saw here. I have that down so I don't cut myself. And I have a disc sander over here. And you're going to get to see that. And there we have it. That's what our base is going to be, fitting in there, hopefully. I did burn out a blade cutting through this. I didn't put a new blade in when I started, and I wish I would have, but I changed blades and we got through it. So, on to the next step. So, there we go. I still need to file these edges down, which I'll do later. Right now, we're just rough sizing it. I was going to file it down now, but I'm thinking, well, when I make what goes inside here, I might have to readjust a few things. So, better to leave the extra on there. I'll file it down later. But this is what we want our frame size to be. The actual pieces that are going to hold the plastic to go inside the oven. And I chose, like I said, this material here is what I chose. So, we need to frame this. I want to make a bracket that'll fit directly down in this, which I'm going to make a square out of these. 2 squares, one for the top, one for the bottom. So I'm going to put this in here and measure it. And I'm eyeing this up. The first one I can eye up. The second one, we'll just make a duplicate of the first one. That way we know it'll definitely fit. I'm not really concerned about it being too square at this point in time, because I don't feel it has to be. Some people out there might be cringing if you're OCD. I'm not OCD. But see, I'm just going to put it in the hole like that, and I'm going to mark off my length. Got my little trusty Sharpie there. I want to cut it right where that mark is for the first piece. And if I'm lucky, both pieces are the same, because I did, yep, both pieces are the same, so we don't have to worry. I need 2 of these, which I'm going to cut right now. Now, if you can see this in the camera, I only cut right there. I did not cut the whole way through, because I want to bend this 90 degrees. I'm going to take my square, line it up on the crack. It should bend nice for me. There it goes. I think this will be better than, will be better than using brackets on all 4 sides. So we're just going to bend that 90 degrees. There's one corner. Now we'll do the rest. And there it is, my base model. Let's see if it fits. Right in there, right in there. Might have a little bit of filing to do the fine tuning, but it fits. That's why I didn't bother filing this. This is very sharp, by the way, so be careful. That's why I didn't file these edges down yet. I figured after I get this made, it leaves me some wiggle room. I can make this bigger. You can't make it smaller, but you can make it bigger. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put these together like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put these together like that with a bracket, which I will go get now. So before I put this together with the bracket, I want to show you closer how it fits together. This is the piece we just made. I'm not really worried about getting it out of square at this moment in time. This is what it's going to fit into. And when we lower this in, we're making 2 of these, one on top of the other. One's this way, one's that way. Our plastic will be in the middle. So it's going to lower it onto this pan, which will hold it up in the toaster oven, like that. That's why we want that lip on there. Now, that's also why I left the jaggy parts on the inside pan too, because what I'm going to do, actually this part, if I do it right, I don't even have to take it out of here. I'll take it straight out of the toaster oven and set it on top of the box when we make it, and then turn it on. It should be good. So this doesn't have to be airtight. It doesn't even have to be perfectly square, as long as we match the box to it. So we're going to put a bracket to make this a little more stable on this last joint. Then we're going to make another one of these identical to it to go on the top. The brackets I got are these little corner brackets. And originally I was going to do 4 pieces and put a bracket on each side. I thought it would be more stable. But the more I thought about it, this will work just fine too. So let's put these on. So we got our, let's just put that anywhere, Bruce. We got our bracket here. This is what I got. I'm already seeing a problem I kind of wish I'd have got brackets that would attach here and here. This one's going to go right here. I do foresee a problem in that, but I might have a solution. The problem is, this side is going to be touching my plastic. And if I put it in like this with the screws they provided me, these screws are going to stick up. That might be problematic. It might not hold on to the plastic, but I think I have a solution for that. Right now, I'm going to put this in like this. See, I have it lined up like that. And I'm going to mark where my holes are with my trusty Sharpies. Then I'm going to drill those holes out on a piece of scrap wood. Don't ruin your good workbench. It's always something, isn't it? That's 4 of those. Like I said, I'm still not worried about being out of square at the moment because it's very flexible. There's my holes. They line up nice, so I got that going for me. Now I'm going to install this. Oh, there it is, but like I said, these screws are sticking up. Not very happy about that. I have to find a way around that. And as thin as this is, I don't know. Let me think on that, see if I can come up with a solution. So here's the piece, and you see it fits right in the frame. Pretty sturdy. It's going to work for what I think I need it for. But I have a problem with these screws. Those are way in the way. I can't have that. Because there's going to be another one I have to make too. These have to get cut off somehow. So let's get a grinder and grind that off. Okay, now I'm not going to lie. I hate this tool. I wish I had a vise. What I'm going to do is a little dangerous. But, you know, wouldn't be me if I wasn't doing it the weird way. Now, before anybody blows me up in the comments, yes, I am wearing safety glasses. But I went and I burned them down, got them all ground down to nothing. They're nice and smooth across. I think that's going to work okay. And I was worried about the thickness of the metal and the screws letting loose. But what I realized is that when I burn these down with my grinder, it mushroomed them out. So now they're more like rivets. And the rivets will hold those in place. I don't have to worry about that popping off. Now we have to make another one of these just like it. Okay, so now it's day 2. We're going to work on the box. My frames here, you see they're all done. And we're going to use this pegboard as the top. So I want the pegboard piece to match the inside of one of these. That way we know that the box is going to, the frame is going to go over the box nice. So I'm just going to trace, like, you know what, we're going to start off from scratch on this. We're going to, instead of using it, because I don't trust that it should be square. I'm just going to trace like this. And then we're going to cut it. There, we don't have enough room. That right, it should fit right inside there, and look, that's what we want. It's right inside like it's supposed to. So when this goes down on top of it, like this, it'll fit perfect. Next we're going to make the bottom of the box, which Common sense has to match the top. For that, I got this piece of scrap wood we're going to use. Probably a little thicker than I need, but I'm not worried about it. We're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to trace this, make an exact duplicate. One thing I did not do is I did not square this up very well, so I'm just going to have to work with it. Make a quick adjustment to our saw. And now it's a table saw. Now we got top and bottom, and it looks like it's going to work just fine. So I don't have any other scrap wood laying around, so we're going to have to make this do for the sides. Obviously that's too tall, so I'm going to make a makeshift fence here on my trusty table saw, and we're going to rip this board. Not really a fan of drilling screws into this, but as you can see, this tabletop kind of needs replaced anyway, so I'm not much worried about it today. Alright, let's rip our strips. What happens when you don't pull your table saw up from the wall, you run out of room. As you can see, I worked around it. I guess I should give you a safety lecture right now. Wear your safety glasses, all that crap. Don't drink and woodwork, which I never do, by the way. So when it's all said and done, this is how tall it's going to be. That should leave me enough room in there for a vacuum cleaner. So let's get to measuring and cut the sides. Now I gotta do the center pieces. Not too bad. Now we can put it together. I gotta find some wood glue. Okay, we got all our piece of parts cut. Now it's time to put it together. I could just screw these together, but I want to use glue to ensure more of an airtight fit. So, put our little glue. So, let us begin. I like to glue both sides. Also, if I glue it and screw it, no pun intended, if I glue it and screw it, I don't have to deal with clamps. Which I do have clamps, I just don't like using them. Put that together like that. Okay, if you've ever seen my videos before, I do lay my mistakes in. Putting these screws in was a mistake. Started to split the wood a little bit, so I'm switching to these little nails, the little finishing nails, and we're going to finish it that way. Like I said, I leave my mistakes in, learn from it, don't do what I just did. So I went ahead and finished putting the box together. Now we're going to put a vacuum hole in it. And I'm trying to decide where I want to put it. And another funny thing is I go to get my tool to drill the hole, which I haven't used in a couple of years, and it's all rusted, so I don't know if this is even going to work. Another way it always is. But I think we put it on the side, it might be better. Or the front would distribute it better. All right, let's try it on the front. Always take care of your tools. Don't do what I did. Boom, there it is. A little sloppy, but it worked. And you know what I say, it's going to be on the inside, no one's going to see it. Now, if I did that right, my hose should fit right in there. There it is. Nice and tight, that'll work. Now we're ready to put the top on. Oh, there it is. It's all put together. I got the top on, which I forgot to click record, so I just nailed it on like the rest of it. I'm going to let this dry, and then we're on to the next step. Okay, it's been a couple days and I got my styrene plastic in the mail from Amazon. It's a white polystyrene flexible plastic sheet. It's a 5-pack. It was pretty cheap. I got this to practice with because I also got the clear stuff. This is a sheet of the clear stuff I got, and we're going to do that second. First, we're going to try this. Now, I've already cut a piece of this out and put it in my frame like I described before, so it's ready to go. And as you can see, I got my box here. I did paint it. I'm pretty sure I said that with the high heat enamel. It's probably not necessary, but I wanted it to look half decent, and I painted it black because that's what I had on hand. I can't really see the good details in the pictures there, but this is what we're going to make today. This is it's a not a canopy, it's a gunner chair for another toy. I've been trying to make this in resin for a couple years now. Unsuccessfully every time. It just comes out, I wasn't happy with it. So we're going to try this method and see if it works for this. And then after that, we are going to try to do the one I really, really wanted to do, and that's this canopy that goes on top of that. So I got my toaster oven here. Let me make myself small and you can see what I'm doing. Okay, here I am way down here in the corner. Now, like I was saying, we got our styrene plastic all ready in here to go. Got the box ready. Got the toaster oven ready. Got some tongs. Got to do the test click on the tongs. I decided not to use this part here, just for the simple fact when I was practicing putting it on, it was giving me some difficulty. So I realized I don't have to use that whenever I can just put this directly on there, which is what we're going to do. Oh, what else? We need gloves. Got our gloves. Nice heat resistant, real thick leather for me. Shop vac. It's down here on the floor. It's just a regular canister vac. And of course that's going to go in here nice and tight. I did put some tape around the nozzle so I can get a better seal. I want to put this where you could see it, but I also want you to see the toaster oven. Now I'm going to put the toaster oven open and I'm going to set it on toast and we're going to preheat it. You see my oven's nice and heated now. Here's where I wish I had a helper, because I'm gonna turn the shop back on right now while I'm heating this up, because I won't have the extra hand to do it when I pull it out. So it's gonna get a little noisy. I'll probably mute it out and narrate over top of it maybe. I don't know yet. We'll find out. But I'm gonna turn the shop back on. I'm gonna place this in there. We're gonna watch it melt together. There we go. Very, very noisy, but for the first try, you see I got it down on there. Looks like it worked pretty good. It's a little warm. My hands were getting a little cooked in there, but that's why you have the gloves on. Kind of a redneck way to do it, but so far it looks like it worked. Gonna let this cool for a second. We'll check out what we got. I'm running out of room. Well, here's what I got. For the first try, I think it's kind of good. Let's see if I can get my master out. Or as they call it, I found out they call it a buck. So there's my buck. And here's my product, because this is the side that's going to be viewed by people. I am pleasantly surprised. For a first try, we're going to cut all this extra ring out. I have an extra ring on there, so when we trim it, it'll be better. Not bad for a first try. Now let's try the clear one. So before we do the clear one, I cut this out. And I'm actually pretty happy with it. I mean, you got the details on the inside back there. The ridges come out pretty good. Overall, I think this is probably the best version of this I've made. Better than the resin. And it's more to the original material of what I'm trying to make anyway. But that's neither here nor there. But I'm really excited to try the clear version of this, which is what we're going to do now. And like I said, this is a canopy. I'll set that on there. I've already cut out my clear plastic and I put it in here. It's called PETG plastic, in case I didn't say. And once again, this is brand new to me, so I don't know how this is going to work out. So let me get my gloves on, and we'll do the same process for this. Okay, once again, let's preheat our oven. Got it on toast. Let that heat up for a minute. Of course, same as before, I'm going to have to hit the shop vac. It's much better if you had a buddy to help you, but I don't. And the dog, well, she can do a lot of things, but she can't turn on the vacuum. So let's start that now, and I will probably mute it and maybe narrate over it. I don't know yet. We'll find out. I never know what I'm going to do. But here we go. So the first thing I noticed when I was doing this, obviously I muted the audio, was using the gloves and holding it in there was a bad idea because the clear takes a lot longer to heat up than the white did. So that's a mistake you don't want to make. It did heat up okay, as you're going to see when I pull it out. But, this is why I started using the tray again. And I failed so many times at the clear. I was very disappointed. But, here we go. It's heating up. I have this fast forward at like double speed, I think. And then I pull it out now. There we go. You see, I've got air pockets here and there. Now you can see on this, I've got air pockets here and there. I think in this particular case, I did not heat the plastic up hot enough. You see there's a whole bunch where the air didn't get sucked out right there. I don't think I heated the plastic up enough, so we're going to try it one more time. You see what I'm talking about there? There's all in here is space that shouldn't be there. Try it again. You see it started to form. Ooh, it took a little bit of the paint off too. That's not good. Set it up and try it again. Okay, and we're going to try this again. I'm trying to give you a better camera angle so you can see what I'm working on here and focus in better. That's about the best I can do to get both the toaster oven and the box in focus. You see the one we just made? I don't know if it's showing up on camera. There is paint. It's stuck on the inside of that. Now, we don't want that. I remembered watching one of the other videos where Adam Savage keeps cornstarch for just such an emergency. So we're just going to put a little bit of cornstarch on our buck, as they call it. And they say it won't get into the plastic. This is getting everywhere. Thing about cornstarch, it's like, ugh. All right, so we got cornstarch. Let's put some on top of our plating too, to keep it from sticking. Also, I realized the last run kind of rushed it because I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of excited to learn something new. And this is why I share this with you guys. So, if you're just like me, learning something new first time, get a little excited. It took longer to heat up the clear than it did the white. And my hand started to get really hot, so I got a little anxious. I think that's the reason why it didn't melt good enough to go over my buck. So we're going to bring this back out, and we're going to use it. Now you can see, once again, I loaded up my plastic into my frame. I'll set the frame in here. This way I don't have to stand there and burn my fingers. Because I'm not going to lie, my hand's getting a little bit hot. A little bit. And I have this kind of a tight fit. I'm probably skipping through a little bit of this, but I don't know if you can see it on camera. But I'm waiting for that plastic to go like this to make a dip. Let's close this for a second. Maybe that'll help. Like I said, it's brand new, so I don't know what's going to happen at this point. I'm holding off on the shop vac so I can explain some of this stuff to you. At least what I'm observing. Like I said, I am not an expert. So if you're on here thinking I'm an expert at this, I'm not. This is my first try. All right, we have a little bit of bulbing down. Doesn't seem very consistent, though. It's getting a little wrinkly, and that worries me.
And as they say, this is the point where I realized I fucked up. You see me hitting it with my gloves and everything like that. This time I had the plastic melted too hot. And it just went all over the place. So, yeah. I will fix this next video, I promise. Until then, let's continue.
Okay, you might notice how fast I had to go on that because I realized when it started to bulge, it went quick. So I quickly had to do that. A little faster than I was comfortable with. When I get this out while it's a little warm still. Now I say I got a big hole in it. Yeah, that one's shot. Well, I mean, we are getting closer. We are getting closer. Like I said, I'm going to leave my screw-ups in here. Try it one more time. I think that was a case of I heated it up too much. I don't know. I'm new. So I don't know how much I left in of the clear, but I'm going to have to call the clear a fail for now for two reasons. It doesn't seem to be getting the suction it needs. I don't think I got the knack of when to pull the plastic out and use it. I think I got to practice. But unfortunately, I ran out of the clear plastic, so I got to get some more. I don't think it's impossible. I think, like I say, practice makes perfect. I'm going to have to do a little trial and error on that. But what I do think works is the white plastic, which we made this, I actually trimmed it. We made this piece in a white plastic. I'm going to go ahead and do another one with my last piece of plastic. And then we'll talk about the whole idea and the mistakes I made.
Insert non-copyrighted music right here.
So, what can I say? Did this video work out the way I had hoped it would have? No, not at all. I did learn a lot. This is something brand new for me. I've been crafting for quite a few years, mostly resin, silicone molds, the vacuum forming thing is brand new to me, and I'm trying to learn it. That's why I did this video, so other people out there like me that want to learn something new, I don't know, maybe you'll watch my video and realize that, yeah, it's okay to fail. It's okay to fail. It's a learning process. It's a lot of trial and error. Believe me, I did a lot of trial and error today. I cut the clear part out for the most part because, oh my God, it was a nightmare for me. And I will get it right. And I'll make sure I put that in my next video about this. I'll show you how I overcame this. It all came down to two little things I'm trying to make. And that's this guy right here, like I said at the beginning of the video. The gunner chair and the canopy, which this is a crappy one I made out of resin because I could never get it right on that either. That's what I was trying to make. Now, what I came up with, let me show you right quick. This is the last one we poured, or I keep saying pour because I'm used to resin. This is the last one we did. I trimmed it. It's acceptable. It's fine. It's fine. It'll work. This is one I completed off camera, and I painted it, and I actually did get one clear canopy out of 10 tries. That's not economical for me. So I'm going to work it. I'm going to improve my game, and I'm going to get better at it. But this section, I'm going to tell you about the mistakes I made tonight that are obvious that I don't want you guys to make too if you're trying to learn this. It's what I learned today. But this is how my version ended up compared to the first version. I'm actually happy with the version. I just need to work on my clear game. Now, as far as the clear plastic goes, it's called what? PETG, as opposed to styrene. This didn't work so well for me. And I know what I did wrong. A couple of factors. My toaster oven with the clear, it wouldn't heat it up enough. The styrene, no problem. No problem. Almost every styrene thing I made came out fine. This one has a higher melting temperature. Now, I was wrong about melting temperatures in the beginning of the video. I saw on Google that the melting temperature of this is 410 degrees Fahrenheit. It actually is, but that's when it melts all to shit. The workable temperature is actually between 310 and 350. So that's no problem for a toaster oven. The melting temperature on this is about 450 degrees. The workable temperature is very touchy. It's about 390 to about 410. Now, the problem with that is whenever I held my bracket, I'll just use this for an example. When I held the bracket in the toaster oven, or I put it, it would droop down. It wasn't hot enough, and I didn't want it to hit the bottom element because then it would just ruin the whole project. It never got to temp. So we'll solve that problem. Maybe a different material. I don't know. I'm brand new to this. I'm going to figure it out. So that's one mistake I made. Second mistake I made, do not paint your buck. That's what this is called. I just learned that today too. Do not paint your buck, or in resin world we call it a master. Don't paint it because that messed up. Even the one that actually came out good has paint on it, if you could see it. Not really a mistake, but something I want to touch on. If I would square the frame off better than I did in this video, actually take the time and make sure everything's square. I did not. I eyed it up, got a little cocky because, I've been woodworking my entire life. So, I'm like, oh, I can do this. It worked, but it would have been better if I squared it up. What's the next one? Don't screw. just leave that alone. It was better for me to use finishing nails than to screw the wood, or it might have been better if I would have clamped it and glued it. It's still working fine for the styrene, but looking back, I wish I would have just used finishing nails all around. What else did I learn? Paint the box. You can paint the box. I painted this with the same paint I used on the buck. it doesn't matter. That didn't hurt anything. But don't paint your buck. And the clear plastic, the PETG, takes longer to heat up than the styrene. I used the tongs and the hot mitts to heat up the styrene. That was no problem. The PETG, the clear, took a lot longer to heat up and reached a workable temperature, which I still screwed it up, as you saw in the video. So those were my mistakes that I saw that I made tonight. Hey guys, I appreciate you watching this video. And like I said, I'm learning this brand new. So yes, I'm going to make mistakes. But I want to share the mistakes with you because there's so many other videos and people out there doing this that they just put it up and it's always perfect all the time. I'm not perfect. I never have been. If you've ever seen any of my crafting videos, my resin videos, anything, I'm not perfect. I'm just an average guy in a basement trying to have some fun and make something. This is what normal people go through. And that's why I leave my mistakes in and my screw-ups. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe. Even more important, leave me a comment. I want to know what you guys think. Because I am going to do a part 2 to this. I'm going to do a little practicing. And my part 2, I'm going to solve this clear problem, the clear plastic problem. I'm going to solve it. So, but your input is definitely wanted and appreciated. I try to answer all the comments that I get. Always have. You know, holidays are coming up. Holiday hobbyists are coming out. And I want to help you guys. It's fun for me. All right, with that said, I hope you got something out of the video. Laugh at me, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. But thanks for spending time with me. And I'll catch you later. Bye.
Well, this costume is much better. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and share. More importantly, please leave a comment. Bruce may have made a lot of mistakes, but this is the first time he's done this type of crafting. We want you to know that nobody is perfect, and learning these things is not an easy process. Next time we do a video like this, it will be when he finally figures out how to use the clear plastic in a more efficient manner. Good night.
It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.
God damn it!